Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus on this Wednesday, February the 4th. I'm 9 News Weather Impact Team Meteorologist Chris Bianchi. It's certainly chilly out there, or it was chilly out there this morning, but it's warmed up nicely with those sunny skies. Temperatures well into the 50s at this hour as we talk about this around 1:30 p.m. on this Wednesday afternoon. Let's take a look out at the Loveland ski area where we got blue sunny skies. Bluebird ski day if you're lucky enough to be skiing up there. A little fresh powder. They picked about an inch or two overnight up there at Loveland. Denver, no snow overnight for us in downtown Denver. Had a few flakes mostly south of Denver overnight and a little light snow out there as well. But we're mostly calm here in Denver, of course, now with that system long departed. Clearing cool, 50s today for us here in Denver, and then a dry pattern setting up for us statewide, and then back into the 60s end of the week. Radar right now is quiet. Statewide, we're talking about basically nothing but sunny skies overhead right now, and that's the case not only for us here in Colorado, but really across the entire western third of the country with our storm system that brought us that active weather down in Texas now, but here in Colorado just on the dry side. It's going to stay that way, just a few high clouds over the next few hours and generally quiet weather with light winds and temperatures in the low 50s right now here in town. Winds, not much of a factor. Temperatures 40s, 50s Eastern Plains, 52 in Greeley, and 30s and 40s in the high country. Pretty much everything you're looking at here already 15 degrees or so above average for this time of year. But the good news is with those mild conditions and a very dry air mass, the good news is the wind is not much of a factor, and that is keeping that fire danger in check. Not seeing really any hints of big wind over the next few days. So that is good news as well, is that when we're entering these prolonged dry and mild stretches, we really don't, of course, ever really want to see the wind, but particularly when it's dry and mild like this. Today, high temperatures are going to get a couple degrees warmer, 53. We'll do it for a high here in town, sunny and mild with those light winds. And that weather pattern going to spike those temperatures dramatically for tomorrow, thanks to that ridge of high pressure nudging east, and that will spike those temps well into the 60s. And this is, first of all, this has been our weather pattern all winter long. Second of all, this weather pattern is not going anywhere anytime soon with those temps that'll be well into the 60s for the foreseeable future and into next week. So tonight, we only drop back to freezing. For a little context, our average low temperature this time of year is in the upper teens. So when we're talking about a low temperature, 32, obviously way warmer than average. And speaking of way warmer than average, look at this high for tomorrow, 63. Light winds, mild out there for tomorrow, and winds not much of a factor, as I mentioned, which is, of course, extra good news today. Tomorrow will be day number 28 at or above 60 degrees so far this winter season. That is going to be the second all-time in terms of most 60-degree days on record, and that number one mark of 34 is going to be in some jeopardy. We're going to tack on 5 more days, so we really will only need 2 more after this upcoming stretch to get to the most 60-degree days in a single winter season. Seems like a chance that we'll get there. Highs tomorrow, statewide, 20-plus degrees above average for this time of year, so our warm, dry stretch continues. 5 days in a row at or above 60 coming up starting tomorrow. We'll be flirting with a record high on Friday. Record on Friday is 70, so that's probably out of reach, but still outside chance we get close to that. But the story, of course, those mild temperatures and sunny skies for the next little while. But if you're looking for some hints of hope for the mountains where, of course, snowpack gets worst on record, it's been our big story all winter season, of course. We do have some good news as you look ahead to next week with a more active and overall wetter and cooler pattern shaping up for then. So that may be something to watch for. This is next Tuesday and Wednesday, not today, tomorrow, not today or tomorrow. This is next Tuesday, Wednesday, when we get some snow in the picture for us in the mountains, and we certainly need that, of course, with what's been such a paltry season for snowpack in the high country. So top takeaways: warm and dry for the next little while. No big fire danger risk, though. That is some good news. And next week, trending a bit more on the active side. Of course, one more details on that as it gets a bit closer. And speaking of having more details, Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sable on more for you coming up on 9 News at 3 o'clock. And of course, you can stream that here on 9 News Plus as well. Once again, I'm 9 News Weather Impact Team Meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus. Have a great rest of your day.